Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and the Dimir color challenge continues. Unfortunately, I can't seem to build a Dimir deck that isn't some kind of control deck. The last two decks that you've seen have felt pretty control-y, although the Reanimator one is certainly a very different take. But in getting my third standard deck, I wanted to play with Disinformation Campaign. I love fake news. Don't get me wrong. I don't actually love fake news. I love fake news because it's the code name for Disinformation Campaign, and I really enjoy this type of grindy effect. I've played it ever since it was introduced, and I've been trying to find a version that works in this meta. This is the best I could come up with, and for the most part, it's still, like, we've seen so much of these cards, right? The adventure cards. The best thing going for Dimir is that they have two great adventure creatures, Brazen Borrower, Murderous Rider. These are great. Brazen Borrower is even better when surrounded by discard effects like Disinformation Campaign, which make it possible for Brazen Borrower to kind of eliminate any permanent when you then take it out of the opponent's hand or counter it on the way back down. It requires a little bit of teamwork from your cards, but it's definitely better than being dead to a Cavalcade of Calamity or a Trail of Crumbs or some value gaining enchantment. Also, a card that is sorely missed is Doom Whisperer. I love Mr. Tickles. I love this card, I really do, but it's got two things going against him. Thing number one, he's an elk. And thing number two, it costs life to surveil. Life is at a premium in this format, and you can't be throwing it away. In fact, the card that takes the place of Mr. Tickles is Enter the God Eternals, because we need that life so desperately. This card has been such an MVP for me in any kind of controlling Dimir shell that every time we get to this point of the game where I could cast this card, I need the life. I just need the life so badly. This card obviously is a train wreck against Cat Oven, which is terrible because you don't get to gain your life, but I think we got to take it at this point. In general, Cat Oven is our nemesis. We hope to totally dodge it. Hopefully, I don't know how. Witch's Oven had to be a 1-drop, so we can't really catch it with Thought Erasure very much. You have to Brazen Borrow into Thought Erase it. There's not much else you can do. Counter it if they don't have it in their opening hand. You know, that's the other thing. So we've got a tough Cat Oven matchup, but against decks that aren't Cat Oven, I feel okay with this deck. Against Planeswalkers and Oko, I feel okay with this deck. I love Drown in the Lock, which is another big addition here. We don't have a lot of tricks to fill the graveyard. We Enter the God Eternals, the opponent, and mill them to fill the graveyard for Drown in the Lock. But most part, we fill the graveyard with their stuff by doing Dimir things. We just figure their 1-drop. We Thought Erase them on 2. We campaign on 3 or Sinister Sabotage. And now there's already enough things to make Drown in the Lock a real card. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun Disinformation Campaign control grindy match, so settle in, get some popcorn as the standard color challenge comes hopefully to a close, if we can get to 4 wins at least and get my darn money back. So let's dive right in. Let the Dimir nonsense begin. All right, the hand has the early Disfigure. It's got some counter magic and a Thought Erasure. It's gotta be great. Opponent opens with an island. Let's open with the swamp and be absolutely ready to creature shock. 100% prepared. Nothing. I wonder if it's flash. Well, let's start here and find out. Ooh, resolves. It is flash. I mean, the Borrower doesn't do too much and it's a good disfigure target. The Sabotages are a pain in the butt, but I don't think you take those. I think you just take their their threats, because the longer the game goes, in theory, the better you should be. I'm going to keep that because we might miss a land drop or 2 here, but in the long run, we should have more lands in our deck than they have. And if they have to act on their turn or on our turn and we just counter their stuff, it's pretty good. What could they do here? We'll give them a window. See if they jump through it. See if they go for this Borrower. They do. All right. Excellent. I disfigure you. Get out of town. So that's what I thought was probably the best play they could try to make there, and that there was no reason to hold up the sabotage in that situation. All right, another land. That's wonderful, and what we want to see. When it's leaning on cracking that passage. That's their third card in the graveyard, so Drown in the Loch is feeling it. And here is the Ambusher. I think we let that resolve and use the Rider to kill it. Is that better than using a Sabotage here? Actually, I think we like the Sabotage to get deeper in the deck and try to find hand disruption and more land. And not another Enter the God Eternals. Bit big, slow clunk and sorcery. It's a big problem for the card. And there's a missed land drop. That's what we like to see from our opponent in a control sort of mirror. And Once Upon a Time, of course, can resolve. Wow, so the best card among what that might end up being their bottom four by the end of all this is a Spectral Sailor. So, that can resolve, but we can't let it sit. So, I guess we have to swiftly end you. The ability to draw cards off that thing is a bit much. Castle is nice. Let's see if the opponent's willing to counter this Murderous Rider. They might just want to get these out of their hand. Now, I have a choice. I can let that go, or I can flip the script and force the opponent to pressure me. And I think I like flipping the script here. And the opponent will scoop it up to a 2-3 Murderous Rider resolving? Wow. Simic Flash. Didn't have the stomach to take some counterspells themselves, I guess. 2 Disfigures and a Rider and a Campaign. So the fake news is coming. And it's coming starting on turn 1. Alright, that has to be disfigured. May as well do it now. Waiting is an option, but I'm not good at it. Robber of the Rich. Okay. Bit annoying. And the opponent gets my disinformation campaign? You animal. Alright. Well, if we've got to do a tap land, we can do this now. And I guess we'll wait and see what our opponent does. I should have waited last time. I actually could have saved myself a damage. I wasn't thinking of Robber of the Rich. It was a my bad moment for sure. But here we go. What else you got? You got a dinosaur? Giant zombie dinosaur? Ooh, after combat. Love it. We'll get a blue source. Drown in the Loch. There are 2 cards in that graveyard. Not sure how I'm killing this. I should probably use the more mana efficient way, but the Drown in the Loch can kill a 4-drop. Let's see what the opponent does. I think the mana efficient way it is, though. Swiftly end, please. My god. Okay. Let's thought erase you. Dreadhorde Butcher. Murderous Rider be Devil. Let's take the Butcher. It's a threat that I can't just straight up remove. I should have used this Fabled Passage, but now I also know there's a land on top. I could let the opponent attack me, but there's nothing to be gained by that. I should have used the Passage first. Setting up a land on top would be sweet here, but I can't do that now. A little sloppy. Wake up. Something about my focus. Whoa! Crap. That was a massive blunder. I didn't get a blue. Why didn't I get a blue? It was going through my head that I was going to get a blue. I meant to get a blue. I think I've got to let this go. Now I'm so far behind on cards. That was a massive mistake. Oh my god. What is the matter with me? Alright. If you've ever messed up before, now's the time where you have to pull it together. Third robber of the rich. Get your mythicness out of here. I made a video where I said I really didn't, where I basically went on endless rants about how much I hate robber of the rich. I think the card is coming after me. We're using Drown in the Lock, so I think milling the opponent is where it's at, but probably doesn't matter since I don't have a lot of ways to use the graveyard here. And I doubt they do too. There's a very straightforward Rakdos aggro deck if it's like the ones I've become used to. There's the Bedevil. Out of there, sure. Another swamp off the top lets me cast my Murderous Rider. I'm in that spiral. I blame being up till 4 in the morning. That is fine. I'm going to save the Sabotage for a threat. Discovery Dispersal. I can return this to my hand, and the opponent discards a card, I believe. I can do it at instant speed, so we can wait. Uh-huh. Take some damage, draw a thing. Now the Ebon Legion. Very dangerous card. But I think I can find an answer to it. Alright, I'm going to put my faith in the deck to answer this card. Alright, Dispersal. Give me back my campaign. You discard a card. I trust my deck to find this answer. Deck. Deck. Do something, deck. This thing can kill me way too quickly. Yes. Thank you, deck. Thank you, deck. I'll wait till the opponent pumps some mana into this knight. Or plays their 4th robber. Alright, I'll take 1 hit from the frickin' Knight of the Ebon Legion. 4th robber of the obnoxiously rich. The opponent would rather draw a card, though. Which I am very happy about when I have a disinformation campaign coming back to my hand. I think that was a pretty big mistake. I think that's definitely a pump the knight, since you're going to lose the card anyway, unless it's a land. What a champion. Alright, ready to see the combo? Petty Theft. Bounce your knight. Disinformation campaign. Discard yo knight. The opponent still gets to draw multiple cards a turn, and we're tapped low. So let's see if they can play something great. Drown in the Lock can clean it up most likely. Nope. Nothing this turn. I tap my castles quickly if I'm sure I'm not going to use them because they just seem to blow up the auto tapper's mind. They don't know what to do with themselves. I will accept this Pyro Helix. Okay, caves. Second campaign. Sounds lovely. Let's bury them. Rankle. No. Let's not. Let's not rankle. Rankle the prankle. All right. And you can just tell, I am now a kid in a candy store. I get to play all the fake news I want. I get to counter all of the spells. This is great. Let's do this thing. Nope. No, 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 no. Yep, draw that card. Let's see what it is. Hopefully something I get to make them discard. Land is fine. Land here is great. When you're drawing a lot of cards a turn, you want to keep hitting your land drops to keep snowballing the situation. Get the card. What is it? Mm-hmm. More. Okay, this is fine. Go get another blue. Keep stacking up the situation. Another castle. Yeah. They keep wearing their life total down. Another knight, sure. It's a good brazen borrowing target when the time comes. And for now, we'll play this Brazen Borrower, but I'm going to wait till the opponent tries to pump their Knight of the Ebon Legion. And there's a Discovery Dispersal. We could do it now, where we just Brazen Borrow this, Discovery, Disinformation, campaign it. How much mana is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would still have Sabotage open. It's pretty good. This is better than just casting Dispersal because we get to draw cards. This is fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with these cards. Petty Theft. Disinformation campaign. Say goodbye. End the turn with a conspicuous 3-mana open. I mean, I could play another, but if I counter this, I don't have to worry about the adventure side either. So, this is fine. Disfigure. Seems pretty good against their deck, but we've already seen all 4 Robber of the Rich, and it's not good against Knight of the Ebon Legion anymore. So I think that's the kind of low impact card we don't want. So you've got to draw something with this castle. It better be good. Nope. I guess they decide that it's unlikely to draw a 2-drop, which would just get discarded. Hey-ya. Let's play the fake news. Maybe we can draw another counter. Or a land. And we'll play another one. And then we'll hold open Dispersal, I suppose. That is also a card. Opponent falls to 4 life as they try to dig their way out of the hole. What do they find? Fabled Passage. Hitch it. And another dig. Down to 2. Threadhorde Butcher, that's fine. Doesn't stop the borrower. Opponent sending a message. It's fine. Last card, Spawn of Mayhem. Okay. Here's the other borrower. Here is the Enter the God Eternals for good measure. Just to let them know how truly dead they are. And that's game. Well, slow, but it destroys just about anything. And it's good against all manner of permanents. So I think we try this. Let's go get another black right now. No, not right now. On their turn. Ha ha ha. Conserve information. It's a Fabled Passage. It could mean anything. We could be playing green or not. We could be playing red or not. We could be playing black. It all has become so clear. Now we'll save this to be our 4th or 5th land. Black-red. Cauldron Familiar. Ew. Not an oven. Not an oven. Okay. It's not an oven. We've got that going for us. Alright. Let's get the campaign going so that the Drown in the Lock is turned on. None of these are good Murderous Rider targets. I'm going to try to draw into my Enter the God Eternals as quickly as I can. And it's a mountain to the graveyard. So maybe they had a land-heavy hand. Opponent taking their time finding the play, and it's a Chandra. So, Aristocats. And this is going to be a painful 5. There's an attack all button if you'd like to move things along. Interesting choice. Defending the Chandra? So far we've flooded out pretty badly in this game. Let's just swiftly end the Chandra at least. And we're down to 13 already. Next turn we can play a Murderous Rider or use a Swift End and have Drown in the lock, so we get to double spell. And it looks like it's going to be killing the Midnight Rider. No! Jesus. We needed to dodge that for one more turn, and we failed epically at dodging it. So that's game. Where did we go wrong? Did the hand we keep, was it just too slow? I suppose so. I suppose it was. Alright, let's get the castle out. Let's play the Murderous Rider, just so we have something on the board. Then we'll pass the turn. When the opponent goes to use the oven thing, they don't even use it. Do they not know the combo? They have the combo. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try to work around this. So we'll start here by targeting the Midnight Reaper with a Disfigure, because then I think the opponent, what they're going to do is use the oven in response. That must be what's on their mind. But once they use the oven in the response, I can gain life from the Murderous Rider. And it turns out that's not the play either. So I'll block the Butterbones. The opponent throws the Gutterbones in the oven. Okay. I need a card that's not a land, and I need... Well, what would be best here is enter the God Eternals. Because while the opponent has their oven tapped, I can gain the life. I just thought a good player would never let me have that window, but... I don't know. Our opponent not doing the Aristocrats things I'm used to, that's for sure. So we have to attack here so that we get the life. And then I don't think it makes sense to hold the Murderous Rider. So I'm just going to play another lifelink body and try to stay alive here. And at least I have some counter magic open. Man, we need to dodge that for one more turn. Where's Brazen Borrower? Yeah, we're not doing that. None of this. Absolutely none of this. I suppose it tries to help me find that Brazen Borrower. It keeps the disinformation going. If my opponent's going to play it like this, I think it gives me a chance. I mean, they only have one oven. I have 2 lifelinks. So, and no attacks. All right. Let's do this again. Noxious Grasp? Okay. I think we keep attacking here, because we know we're at least going to gain 2 of the life. And the opponent's choosing to gang up on a rider. Okay. I could use a Drown in the Lock to prevent that. But no. 1 rider down is okay. I can live with this. Gaining the life is important. Setting them back is important. They only have 1 oven and 1 cat, and they don't seem to know how to use their oven. So that's like the best thing we have going for us. Yep, you got your cat back. Wow. Take 3, draw a card. Come on, Brazen Borrower, where are you? Thought Erasure. Not bad. I think it's better to use the campaign and try to get deeper in the deck. Plus, I get to draw cards from my side. If I draw a land, I can still Thought Erasure this turn. It has to be blue. Ta-da! Another Butterbones in the graveyard. And let's get their hand. Ingress Rampage out of there. Land out of there. All right, Discovery Dispersal deals with the oven. No, not if the cat's on the board, but we can probably figure out a way around it. No, that's actually really hard to do. Getting the cat off the board is hard. All right, no attacks here because the cat just witches ovens. If they know the thing. Hello. Hello to you. You should watch, I think I've done a few videos where I'm throwing cats in ovens. Should check some of those out. Nope, I'm not doing this. I think I'll save that. Let's use the Drown in the Lock to counter it. This way I still have Sinister Sabotage to get me back campaigns. More card advantage. Alright, suddenly we've turned into a chatty Rakdos player. Down to 14. There's the Brazen Borrower. What a beautiful sight. So, we will go with a Petty Theft on your Witch's Oven. The cat gets sent to the graveyard. Okay, they do know how it works. Alright. Drop the campaign. Discard, draw. Oven gone. So this is weird. I sort of want to save my Sabotage, but if I know I'm going to hit a good spell, I think I just force my opponent to top deck me here. Rampage. Yeah, they have not played much with Witch's Oven. I got some YouTube videos you need to watch. I think Mogwai did a good one with this exact list. Oh, I can't say exact, of course, but it looks really familiar. This is the dangers of net decking, though, my friends. When you grab a deck and don't quite know how to play it, and enter an event with it, maybe you'll figure it out, but I think this person could use a YouTube video. Alright, you got back your butter bones. Disfigure off the top. Send in the Rider. Rider coming for you. Opponent having a little think about it. Alright, 2 life. Here comes the disinformation campaign. Drown in the Lock is nice. We have enough mana up to Sabotage and Borrower. Opponent discards the Butter Bones, and your turn. Chandra. Let's not. With all 3 information campaigns down, the Sabotage is a great plan. Oh man, that's rude. Bring them back now, y'all. Campaigns are here. Here's a Fabled Passage. So we can still play the Brazen Borrower. Our opponent can attack us with the cats and put Butter Bones back in the hand. Maybe even play one of them if they wish, but they are choosing to draw instead. It's fine. It's going to end up discarded. This is probably going to be... This is certainly a case of a new player to the arena scene. I hate to show them the ways of Dimir with such ferocity, to be honest. It's a good deck. They net decked a good deck, but they don't quite know how to use it yet. So I'm gonna try to accelerate the victory now and talk a little less and throw my cards at the screen until hopefully we emerge victorious and move this along. I'm just picturing some little, like the kid in Christmas Story on his dad's account. He's done playing outside with a Red Ryder beating BB gun. Now he's learning about magic. Yep. It will have to be a very cheap card that does the job. Not optional, as you see. 1 card, what does it do? Ingrath's Rampage. I will sacrifice this Murderous Rider. And the Brazen Borrower will swing in for the final 3 points of damage. Well, yeah, I think we keep it. We might get run over. In which case, Enter the God Eternals will need to be near the top of the deck. No one drop. Card makes me angry. If the opponent goes Oven into Trail of Crumbs here, no, it's a third Rakdos in a row, and this one has the cat on time, and you better believe this opponent, I think, is going to know what to do with their cat. What do you do with your cat? You stick it in the oven. By the way, flooding, not good. Not good. Ooh, what do we do? Probably the Murderous Rider is the best take, but the opponent doesn't have double black to cast it. So it might occupy their black mana. In this matchup, I think I'm running out my own Murderous Riders starting next turn just to try to get a lifelink presence on the board and not a targeted removal spell. So yeah, we're just gonna grab you. Drown in the Lock is a solid card, but it doesn't solve the oven problem. I have to dig for Brazen Borrowers, and there's not a lot else to say. There's really nothing else for me to do here. I've got to have the combination of like Brazen Borrower Thoughtseize or Disinformation Campaign, and that's how we stop the oven. Yep, double kitty. I'm sure the opponent will also top deck their Black Source right on time to make my Murderous Riders worse. Ooh. On second thought, let's keep digging. I like getting these down, and I know that they will be important, but let's keep moving things along. We could get really lucky and just pull into the cards that deal with the oven. There's the Thought Erasure, so like Brazen Borrower off the top here. Brazen Borrower off the top solves the oven problem. Alright, let's watch some paint dry. Hit these triggers. And is it black? It's... wow. That is unfortunate. That is not what we needed to see there. That really sucks. And then Enter the God Eternals does basically nothing here. Let's go ahead and get our 2/3 lifelinker on the board. And then we have to somehow set up for the God Eternals to hit something, which sometimes you can occupy the ovens, but it's not easy. Not against good players. Good players usually always leave the oven up. You have to find ways to trick them into using it. Maybe attacking with Murderous Riders will do the job. Again, paint dry. This cat oven break brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. They support the channel in a big way so that I can be here every day for you making content. They sell Magic, cards, board games, and they live up to their name with cool stuff. So please check them out. Wow, nice top deck. Promo code CGB5. That'll get you 5% off the beating that I'm taking. Yeah, we basically folded to a 2-card combo and the opponent had each piece of it. What can you do? There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely zero game. Let's see if the opponent does... well, they might give me a window here to dispersal something. I don't know if that's particularly good, but I can try it. If they sacrifice... well, they won't sacrifice both cats, actually, so that's not going to happen. So what is my best play? I don't have a best play. I'm out of best play. Let's Thought Erasure this before things get any worse. Yeah, that doesn't solve my problems. And let's get the Murderous Rider on the board again. Might end up targeting our own Murderous Rider with the Enter the God Eternals. Uh-huh. I wonder if the opponent's going to attack me with both cats. That's totally an option here. Okay, there's the black source. And no attack. Sweet. So if we attack, the opponent will block, cycle the combo. Can I get both cats off the battlefield? Maybe I can. No, wait. That's not the way it will work, right? Because there'll always be a food. They can just bring it back in response to the discovery. All right. I think we have to force them to do it. We also have to make sure we're not dead. But yeah, the fact that this just completely turns off all lifelink is such a pain. So this is 1, 2, 3. Not quite dead yet. We're not dead yet. Let's use the campaign. Try to draw it into another card and get another Murderous Rider down. The double oven is such a pain. It's so bad. If it was one oven, you would think our riders could have pulled through. But not today. Not this game. Payback for the last mage, for sure. Mm-hmm. 30 to 5. Easy. Uh-huh. So we need what? Like a disfigure or something lets us at least... No, it doesn't. Nothing lets us gain life. There's no way to do it when the opponent has enough food and an untapped oven. There's no way to actually use a life-linking card. Absolute zero. Wow! Okay, dude. I mean, I'm just dead. I'm dead on board. See, sacrifice 1, 2. Sacrifice 1, 2. I'm just dead on board. What are we sitting here for? I guess I could target my own thing. I just don't think that's a winning line. I need my opponent to screw up somehow. I'm not sure how. Not sure how that happens. I guess I need them to let this resolve. All they have to do is sacrifice both cats. Like, it's really easy, actually, but we'll see. Okay, you can do it. Wow. What a something. Giving me the full rope before choosing to win the game. I think we can... Oh, alright. Right as I was about to say, they're just messing with me and leave, but there you go. Alright, we're on the play with triple Thought Erasure. I guess I'll try it. I've played against 3 straight Rakdos decks, 2 straight double cat, double oven conundrums. I need a break. And it looks like what I get instead is mono red, which, if we can blow up their curve with the Thought Erasures, might be okay, but if we can't, we're just gonna die. And it looks like the curve is gonna be rough. So let's take the Scorch Spitter, keep the opponent from dumping too much good stuff onto the battlefield. Ooh, okay. But I need to Thought Erase next turn, and the turn after. I need to draw land. I can't even keep this Disfigure, even though it's kind of what I need. But I need to Thought Erase for sure, and hope the opponent misses a land drop, so I don't fall too far behind. And we need to hit land drops. This is silly. We've drawn more Thought Erasures and Discovery Dispersals than land. Alright, War Boss is out. There's a land, so we keep it because it's a land. There's nothing else. Nothing else matters here. And off the top, does the opponent hit a mountain? I mean, that's really good too. That's really good too. Alright, we're gonna hit a blue with this Discovery Dispersal, and then we're going to Thought Erase, right? Oh, that's good. I'll take this. It's probably my great hope in the matchup, and my only real hope. But yeah, that missed land drop last turn was just so painful. If our opponent keeps missing, we have a chance. And it looks like... But they don't play the... Wow. They didn't play it, you guys. It's kind of bizarre. All right, let's get that Spitfire out of their hand. Because that card can throw a punch. All right, Spitfire, you're gone. This is gone. I'm going to pay the 2 life. I need to hit the Enter the God Eternals next turn to stabilize, and the Discovery Dispersal sets that up. It sure does. I'll just take all the land. With Disinformation Campaign and another Discovery Dispersal, and a Dispersal itself, maybe bouncing this Cavalcade becomes a play. I can't believe the opponent didn't play the Spitfire. I don't know if that's next level or madness. If we cast the Enter the God Eternals, the opponent can kill their own Tin Street Dodger. We still get a 4/4, but we don't get any life. We could also try to drain their hand a bit. And maybe we get rid of some of these cards, or maybe they just cast them to burn our face. There might even be something more threatening, like a Torbran or another Spitfire coming off the top. So let's try hitting their hand a little bit. We really need the life. Not to mention the Lava Coil taking out the 4/4 is a big problem. So casting Enter the God Eternals here doesn't even really help us. I guess it gets the Dodger off the board is all it would do. And the opponent's chosen to shock. They have chosen to Helix. They still lose the Lava Coil. Do I save the Dispersal now for the Cavalcade? I think I will. The opponent needs a big top deck. Let's see if they get it. We're 1 mana short of having Sabotage available. Are you sweating? Are you sweating out there? Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Erg. We gotta do this. Gain 4 life, make a 4/4, and we get Torbran off the top. It's pretty exciting. Now let's see what the opponent can do with their turn. They have a Bone Crusher. They have a Fervent Champion as well. They are not without toys. Brazen Borrower off the top. I think we just hold on to that, let the opponent set up their attack. This very well could be a Dispersal. Just bounce the Giant. Remember, the Giant deals us damage. If we're going to do that, we might need to do it now so that the opponent can't discard a different card in their hand. I'm really scared of what they'll draw, though. So there's also Borrower, Bounce the Giant, then Campaign, but that's not very good here. We take 2 damage if we target the Bone Crusher, and Dispersal does not target. Alright. It's all about this top deck. What was the right play last turn really depends on what this card is. And of course, there's no way to actually know for us. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Another Borrower. So on end step, we can borrow this, then Campaign. We could also do it right now, but then the shields are down for Sabotage, so I'm going to pass. And it's a mountain. That's a window, and a much needed window for us. Petty Theft. Bounce your Cavalcade of Calamity. And let's play out this Borrower. We want to be able to play Disinformation Campaign, then hold up Sinister Sabotage, so we're not bouncing the other one right now. Combo Nation. 1 Cavalcade down. Borrowers start getting in there. Next turn, hopefully I can get the Rider down and start gaining that lifelink life. Castle Embreth. Won't help the Fervent Champion. Alright, let's Petty Theft this. Another land. Sure. Alright, let's start sending squad. Our opponent's at 17, so this is a it's a reasonably fast clock. Let's play the lifelink creature. I don't want to give up 2 life on this Fervent Champion, even if it is our opponent's only creature. They replay the Cavalcade. Now we could counter that, but we could also go for like Borrower Lethal. But either way, it won't really be lethal. The opponent could also have a Torbrand, but I think we'll go for the Sinister Sabotage and trust our deck and the disinformation campaigns to find an answer. That will not be another answer. And it's all about this top deck. What did you get? Is it good? It's something. Pump fake. It's another 1/1. Let's see what we can find. Another land. All right. Well, now I think it's about holding up the Borrower. Let's get busy. The opponent's at 10. This doesn't represent lethal. They could take it all. Therefore, it's not a great attack. So we'll send in the lifelinker to make sure we gain life. Next turn's attack should be pretty lethal. The opponent with a first strike blocker. Tap land. Hold up Brazen Borrower. And it looks like we can pull it off. The opponent would need a miracle. If you light up the stages, for example. And that's not the way it goes. Daemon. Fighter of the Night, man. So on the play, Discovery can find us a black source and Sabotage can counter their turn 3 spell. Will that be good enough? Or will our opponent do really messed up stuff before we even get to do anything? It looks like it's the latter. The opponent's going to do messed up stuff to us. 3 Enter the God Eternals. We need land. Only land will do. I'll take you. Borrower, you gotta go. We absolutely have to nail every land drop the rest of the way so we can spam Enter the God Eternals on this Gruul deck. And there's nothing else that will do. Nothing else will be okay. That Murderous Rider, garbage. No. Absolutely not. And it's like, what is that? Okay, I'll keep this. I'll keep this. We're taking next turn off. We're falling way behind. If it's like Questing Beast, of course, that's extremely painful. Maybe we can get our opponent, though, to play around something. But once we start spamming Enter the God Eternals, that's usually what it takes to beat a Gruul deck. So we'll see. Of course, if they have, you know what, Embercleave, life is going to be hard. But we made it to this. We made it to turn 5. What more could you ask for in life? Let's kill the Pelt Collector because it grows. Let's mill our opponent because why not? I don't think Gruul cares, and obviously we knocked their Questing Beast off the top of their library, so that's good. 4th land. Here it comes. Well, if they're going to make that play, we can eat one of their other creatures. Let's eat the one with reach? No, Disfigure still kills the Harpooner. And that's what we wanted to see, everybody. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Gruul smash. Because Enter the God Eternals is ready. 4 more life. 8/8 now. And do I attack? My opponent could probably deal me 8 damage with some combination of cards in their deck, so I won't. But it's almost a 2-turn clock. Almost. Yeah, why not? Okay. Sure. It's just mono Questing Beast in here. That's okay. I can handle it. Alright, now we'll make them deal me 8 completely out of nowhere, now that their board is down to nothing. Yeah, give a little scratch. Bone Crush Giant my face. Bone Crush Giant on the board. Alright, easy mode. Dispersal, bounce your Bone Crusher Giant, discard a card. And 12-12 swings in for lethal. We could have used any of these, honestly, but I didn't want to take 2 points for targeting the Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, on the play with double Thought Erasure, double Brazen Borrower. This hand is gonna get funky. At least one won't get turned to Oko'd, I think. In before the opponent has Gilded Goose and 2 Okos. And yeah, there's the Once Upon a Time. You can feel it. You can feel it in the air. Once upon a time, there was a forest. A beautiful enchanted forest, of course. And the goose! Oh god, I called it too. I'm going to fire this Thought Erasure. I'm gonna do it. There's double Oko, though. Alright, just a wolf and a whole bunch of land. Okay, let's get this thing going. Now we have that Brazen Borrower Thought Erasure combo that we can work on setting up. Opponent with the Temple. They're gonna get a Scry out of the deal. And to the bottom. So not great. And a second goose. How fun. Honky honk. Murderous Rider. To kill the goose? Or to let them live? Maybe we just play the Borrower and start beating down. I think so. I think in this case we just play a Borrower and start attacking, even though the gooses making food can pretty much nullify it for 4 mana a turn. Another Temple. To the bottom. A Paradise Druid. Can't do anything about that. Alright, let's go. Let's start attacking. At least we have to tax the food through the air. Wow, Borrower City. Welcome to the land of the borrowed. Probably set that up again. A few counter spells and I'll feel good about this. Or a Disinformation campaign to go with the Petty Theft would be nice, but as it is right now, we can't give our opponent too much time. They'll just eventually draw Hydroid Krasis and win. So, we've got to attack them. At least now I have the mana to use my Scry Temple and try to find those counters to dodge the opposing top decks. Uh-huh. Your turn. Goose eggs. I mean, they are a food machine. Alright, let's scry it up. None of this is a counterspell. Or a Disinformation campaign. Wow. We were both served up some interesting draws, my opponent and I. Right now, I think their hand is land. They might have a Brazen Borrower of their own, but if I play Thought Erasure, they'll just use it in response. Of course, bouncing my Brazen Borrower, I just bounced a Brazen Borrower, and, you know. Stuff gets silly. Stuff gets real silly real fast. Do I keep scrying? I think so. I'm like a counterspell from being in a great position. So we'll let the opponent keep making and eating food. It is super mana intensive. If they plan to do anything else, they lose a silly amount of tempo, and if they don't do anything else, they'll eventually fall behind. Could kill the Paradise Druid here. Nah. Save it for the big threats. Patience. Patience. Although Hydroid Krasis is definitely a problem. And that's why we need to find this counter spell. There's a Drown in the lock. There's only 2 cards in the graveyard, but it can counter a Krasis. It's probably better than nothing. Hello. I would like to continue the pattern we've established. It's really fun. Everybody likes it. Hiya. Maybe I give up on the Thought Erasure combo here. I think there's a good chance the opponent's still sitting on a lot of mana in their hand, but it can't be all mana. Okay, they're gonna eat this food. Let's get in there. Okay. Well, now we can play Other Borrower. See what the opponent draws. They have drawn an epic amount of land. And now they have Oko. Okay. What does Oko do?
Who's more foolish? The fool or the fool who rules?
You're the foolish. Everybody knows this. Elka land? So it is. So that's a great borrower target. Let's wait till the opponent declares their attacks, and then we theft it. No damage for me. Then we untap Murderous Rider, the Oko, hold up the Sinister Sabotage. End you. I know everything you've got. There are no responses. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Maybe it's one of those really salty ropes of like, but I drew the best card in Standard. Why hasn't I won? Why hasn't I won? It also gets a 3rd card into the graveyard for Drown in the Lock. Oh yeah. Yeah, nothing better than somebody playing the best deck, the Pro Tour winning deck or whatever it is, the Mythic Championship winning net deck, and you're losing in the best of 1Q to a fool with their Dimir build. So you rope them. You just hit them with that rope. You feel good about yourself again. You find your pride. Of course, there are other ways that this story plays out. I'm doing it what's called constructing a narrative, and it's something very common in entertainment, whether it's YouTube, television, anywhere. They all do it. Another narrative is, my mom is telling me I have to go to school. I gotta go. Another narrative is, I gotta go change the baby's diaper in the other room. And all of those are possible. But you might notice, narratives make for a little more investment in the drama. We're doing it. We're going for win number 7. We still have a loss to give. This hand is slow, but I think you keep it. Can't imagine not. Like, if this hand is too bad to keep in Standard, which it is sometimes, it's just tough times for Dimir, but we battle anyway. Once upon a time, there was a mountain. Okay. Here is my watery grave. Now I've got Thought Erasure ready to go, but I'll probably be under some quick pressure. Ooh. Are we Naya, or do you just play this card? Weird. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. It wouldn't be Naya, it would be Jund, right? So it's just once upon a time that in a Jund deck that you probably can't even cast. So what our opponent's going to do next turn is drop Chandra or Mayhem Devil. Of the two, it's easier to deal with the Mayhem Devil, and it does less damage the turn it comes into play. So we'll take the Chandra, and we'll keep that. That is an important card here. Stormfist Crusader starts feeding the beast. And we're going to take a lot of damage here. And hopefully hopefully, we'll be able to get Enter the God Eternals online before we die. There's a disinformation campaign that we have almost no time for. The opponent going for an oven. I don't think I can beat that, so that gets sabotaged. Feels stupid, man. Yep, more of those. Hopefully the opponent does not draw more ovens. Are you joking right now? I hate my life. Just wow. All right. So we've got to somehow set this up. We've got to hope our opponent's too cowardly to make a play right now. They already saw Sinister Sabotage. So we got to try to get them to wait till their end step. We go for Murderous Rider. If they sack for food in response, nope. Nope, they are just going all in here. Murderous Rider, Swift and the Rankle. No triggers. If the opponent eats it with the oven, then we do get Enter the God Eternals on the Devil. And they don't have a cat yet. But Claim the Firstborn just steals it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're just dead. What a joke game that was. Maybe the opponent will forget how, maybe they'll just forget how Claim the Firstborn works. That's our only hope now. Because we're absolutely dead to it. Yeah, Disfigure was needed in this matchup. Disfigure on turn 1 or 2 would have... Well, I guess turn 1. We just had to have a turn 1 Disfigure. Was probably the only way we could have competed with that curve. By the way, that is our 5th Rakdos deck? 4th Rakdos deck. Deku! All or nothing. There is the missing Disfigure from the last game. This hand does look bound to miss some land drops, but at least it can compete along the way. Let's see what happens. Get our tap land out of the way. I wish I knew what to fetch with it. Wow. Just straight up turn 1 Duress you. Okay. I mean, I tried Duress in this deck. Found it incredibly inconsistent. The fact that it can't take a creature with an adventure was so tilting to me. So incredibly tilting. Like right now, whatever the opponent has, the Borrower and the Rider will kill it. So they can probably take the Drown and block, as it becomes the worst. Well, it becomes the best over time, especially if they're throwing their own Duress in their graveyard. If they take the Disfigure, we know that they're a creature deck, I suppose. I know. Life is hard. Decisions are difficult. You're gonna run the full timer on this one. Better make it count. And yeah, the Drown in the lock. I'll have double black available, I think. Just because Rider comes online way before Borrower, not punished. But we will hide that we drew the land. I think it's worth paying 2 life. Obviously, we're not in a aggressive creature matchup, I don't think, or the Disfigure would have been taken. Okay. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Well, they ran that out. They must have good ways to kill creatures too, so making a tempo play like Borrower is probably futile. Let's just Disfigure it. That way if we draw a Disinformation campaign, we can play it. Thought Erasure, we can play it. And here we go. Spawn of Mayhem's a good take. Positep Reaver's annoying. Actually, Spawn of Mayhem isn't the take, it's Order of the Midnight, because that's basically a 2-for-1. So we'll get that. It looks like we're against some kind of a mono-black aggro. Mono-black Priest. That should be a matchup we can pull off if they don't Cat Oven us. Which, we've been Cat Ovened so much today, I kind of never want to speak of it again. Your turn. We definitely would love to Murderous Rider the Spawn of Mayhem and then play the 2/3. So we're going to take this hit. If the opponent does nothing, we'll Brazen Borrow the 1/1. But here I want them to cast the Spawn of Mayhem into the Murderous Rider. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Holding it back is fine too. Eventually we'll find discard effects. Which card? Discard. And you can see they're in a conundrum of like, well, I play this, something bad's gonna happen, right? Yes, something bad about to happen. Let's go ahead and swiftly end that. If we draw the land, we can enter the God Eternals. If we miss, we can play the Murderous Rider. We draw the land. All right. Do we save this for another spawn? Surely the opponent will have other good targets, or they'll be able to get the spawn out of their graveyard. Yeah, let's just play the 2/3 for right now. It blanks the board. Except for the Vampire of the Dire Moon. And it's Rankle from the opponent right into a Brazen Borrower. But Brazen Borrower isn't particularly great against Rankle. Let's see how the opponent attacks. Just you. Nope, you too. Okay. Let's bounce the Rankle. We need to either draw a way to discard it or we need to empty our own hand. But since the Rankle ends up making us sacrifice a creature when it hits, I think we're just taking this and holding on to our Murderous Rider. Sabotage. Excellent. That is for Rankle, which means now we hold back the Rider instead of attacking with it. Although we could have attacked with Rider. They wouldn't block. They go down to 20, we go up to 14. We were going to take this hit anyway. I still think it's 1 damage less, so it's worth it. Alright, Sinister Sabotage. Don't need this island right now. Gotta draw some value. We're actually in danger of getting ground out in a game where we have, like, disinformation campaign, so that's crazy. So there's a Petty Theft Brazen Borrower, which can be a good tempo play, and is probably the play this turn. It's also good Rankle protection. I'm still trying to hold off on the Enter the God Eternals. I think this means that this turn we can attack with the Murderous Rider, though. Ooh, the castle. Yeah, we're in a lot of danger of the opponent just grinding us away. Okay, you've got the Reaper. Here come the creatures. So let's Petty Theft the token. They don't get that back. Then we'll play a Brazen Borrower to have a little more of a clock on them. Nice draw on the Disfigure. That can take out the Reaper. And now what we want to do is pressure the opponent's life total a bit. And I'm still holding on to Enter the God Eternals because I want to make sure I don't lose to something like a Spawn of Mayhem that dominates the board. Pressuring the life total is a good way to interact with the castle. Just make it a real cost. Another Reaver. Alright, we might end up casting this Enter the God Eternals really soon, but we'll make the opponent slow down their attacks first. You don't want to draw now. If you draw now, Disinformation Campaign or Thought Erasure get you. But the opponent, they didn't heed my warning. And look at them! See? Don't listen to me, everybody. Don't listen to me. Alright, we'll play the other Borrower. The opponent held back the Death Toucher. So I guess it's time. We have to be the beatdown now. And we'll mill ourselves, because milling the opponent, they look like they have plenty of graveyard interaction. And our draws were not going to be great. So, let's go. Let's get them. How did I become the beatdown? With my Dimir deck. Just title the video Dimir Beatdown and see how many people tell me my deck can't possibly be the aggressive deck. Well, here I am. My opponent has a castle, I don't. I don't have a choice. Swamp off the top. We need them to blank a couple of times. Or we need to hit. And the card is... And now they're thinking about an attack. And they're playing a tapped Gutterbones. Sabotage. Alright, let's go. Get them. Bring the fight to them. They can all-in block on the 4/4 is an option. I would kill the two Reavers, leave the opponent with the Gutterbones. But no, they're doing it different. Alright, so since Gutterbones comes back, I'm going to get the Reavers off the battlefield. Down to 2, and with a counter in hand, this should lock it up. Another swamp. Opponent digging. They've certainly had a lot of land here. There is another Reaver. That is fine. I don't need to counter to rub it in. And that will do it. Somehow pulled off the 7 wins in Fake News World. The video is already running very long, so let's claim our prizes. Let's get straight to that outro screen, and let me say thank you for watching this video, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.